All right, so I showed you how to add a robot, sort of set it up in your scene and do a simple animation with Maya's sort of built-in animation tools. Now I want to give you sort of a brief overview of the mimic-specific tools that are more related to the actual robot control. So these are things that will really help you fine-tune your robot program and get you out of jams and things like that to make sure that what you're sending over to the robot is what the robot likes to see. So the first thing I want to show you is over on the Animate tab. We have some tools to help you kind of interact with the animation. The first one that I want to talk about is called IKFK switching. So for those unfamiliar with the terminology, I briefly described IK controls. IK stands for, again, inverse kinematics. So we have math that basically figures out the exact angles that each of these axes needs to be at to kind of meet that target. Now, FK is sort of is forward kinematics. So imagine here we have a controller on each axis, and we can drive that axis directly. So this is really great if you want to do a very joint-specific axis move. So if you want to animate just axis 1 here, doing a movement, you can have this really fine-tuned control over each joint. IK is great if you really don't care what the robot's doing, you really care about what's happening at the end. You can do that. Okay, so as far as inverse kinematics goes, for an industrial robot that's set up like this, there are up to 8 different ways that the robot can actually reach a position. So to sort of demonstrate, let me move our controller over here. We basically give you the option to toggle between those different solutions. So if I hit this first button, it's going to actually rotate that the base of the robot around 180 degrees and then try to kind of match that target position. And if I click this center button, it's going to do the same thing but flip this elbow joint here. And then if I click the last button, it's going to flip this wrist joint here. So that'll give you really fine-tuned control over the configuration of the robot. So for instance, if this position here is more suitable to your specific setup, you can do that. Now, in order to tell Maya that this is the configuration we want, instead of this configuration, we have what's called an IK keyframe. So if I set an IK keyframe, it's going to tell Maya that, yes, I want to use this configuration. It also keyframes a couple of attributes sort of in the robot hierarchy that can be important. So we require, when we export a program, that you have at least one IK or FK keyframe set. So you can just set an IK keyframe at frame 1 if you're going to stay in IK mode in the same configuration. That should be fine. FK controls, on the other hand, let me first delete this keyframe. So if we go to FK controls, set FK keyframe will keyframe each rotation on each of these controllers for you. So it'll do the whole hierarchy, which is just a really quick way to do that. These buttons right here will just help you select an axis, and then you can actually type in values. So we can say, let's go to 15, minus 85, 85, 25, 24, minus 117. And didn't like that, so we can see we're at a joint limit here. So let's go to minus 54. Like that one a little better, and then 32. So now if we like this configuration, we can actually go back to IK controls, and the robot will stay in the same position, and we can set an IK keyframe there, or we can continue to work in FK. So depending on what your needs are, you'll find these different tools useful for you. Additionally, I'll note that if you want to transition between 2 different IK configurations, so let's say you want to start here and you want to end up here, the only way to do that is through a forward kinematic switch. So to demonstrate that briefly, I will set an IK keyframe at frame 1. I'll go to, let's say, frame 45. I'll move my controller around a little bit here, set an IK keyframe there, and then I need to key the switch to FK. So I'll go 1 frame forward to 46, hit FK controls, and then immediately set an FK keyframe. That's going to tell Maya that, yes, I want to switch between IK and FK. I can do a forward kinematic move to get me through a different configuration. So I'll go to, say, frame 80, and then let's move this joint back here. Maybe move this one up here like this. Set an FK keyframe there. And then we're going to key the switch back to IK. So I'm going to go to frame 81, go to IK controls, set IK keyframe, and then now I'm back in inverse kinematic mode in the different configuration here. And I can finish off my little animation here by setting that last IK keyframe. And there you go. That is animating IKFK switching.